He's hurting my feelings. Go f yourself.
Nikko D'Ambrosio is a guy who got his ego hurt and is suing people for $75 million. This is the Mad Salvi, and I'm coming in right strong with this. Let's go. Let's go. Love don't cost a thing unless he wins. A Chicago man is suing dozens of women for $75 million after they posted negative reviews on the Are We Dating Same Guy Facebook page, describing him as very clingy and a ghoster. Nikko D'Ambrosio, 32, claims his reputation was sullied after his name and photo were shared in the Facebook group's Chicago edition late last year, sparking a slew of defamatory comments about him, according to the complaint filed earlier this week. The private Facebook group, which originated in the Big Apple, is part of a wider network of pages where women regularly share information about negative dating encounters they've had in their respective cities and ask for advice about red flags. D'Ambrosio said he first met the women who made the original post at an event in Chicago late last year, and they had consensual sex, which is, things that happen, that same night, the filing says. The pair then went on a handful of unremarkable dates, according to Ambrosio, but they never engaged in exclusive dating otherwise. Like, they weren't exclusive to each other. And here's the guy, here's the $75 million lawsuit dude who really had a big ego pain, and that's why he did it. Here's the things that were said about him. We met organically in Chicago 2.5 months ago. Very clingy, very fast. Flaunted money very awkwardly and kept talking about how I don't want to see his bad side. That's a red flag immediately. Especially when he was on business calls. He came to see me yesterday and I guess I got cut off there. And I'm responding to the anonymous member. After I blocked his number, he texted me on another one, which was the other text screenshot that she has down here, which I can't read because it's all tiny. I hate it when it's tiny. But he already is shooting out red flags like no tomorrow. It's like a freaking hurricane zone here with all the red flags that are popping up over here. He alleges the women later took to the Facebook group to spread the lies about him, including that he got very clingy very fast, flaunted his money, and kept talking about I don't want to see his bad side, especially when he was on business calls. D'Ambrosio alleges the woman had initially shared the post under her real name, but deleted and reposted anonymously after his lawyers made contact last month. Yeah, you kind of get weirded out. I mean, it's even more of a red flag, I would say, if your lawyers contact somebody for this kind of stuff. It's like you're going a little too far. My guess is that this dude is made of money, and he comes from money. He had a golden spoon in his mouth when he was born, and he's just, as we all know, especially in the U.S. legal system over here, you have money, you can do anything, pretty much. You're going to either get off scot-free or very low punishment, or you can sue someone until they go bankrupt, pretty much. The post prompted a flurry of comments from other women who alleged they had similar encounters with him, or had seen a prior post warning about his apparent red flags, the complaint charges, of course. Well, I mean, people can do this in a private group. You just can't, if you're going to be a baby about it, then just freaking get off the internet, pretty much. Nicole Morisco. I matched with him a month or so ago, but convo never went anywhere. Hannah Eve. I went out with him a few times just over a year ago. He told me what I wanted to hear until I slept with him, and then he ghosted. I'd steer clear. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. He's been posted here before. The poster said he sent her a slew of texts calling her names because she didn't want to spend the night with him. I just searched his name. This was on November 2nd, so take a look. I went out with, basically people were, I mean, I don't blame the women for doing this. If a person has a ton of red flags, you're gonna want to steer clear. Whether it's a woman, a guy, freaking a Martian, whoever it is, red flags, steer clear because you're gonna have a bad time. It's either gonna become verbally abusive, physically abusive, other abusive, or just you're not going to be fulfilled in that relationship, which is understandable why people leave those types of things. Because, I mean, if you're not gonna be feeling good in the relationship, why the heck are you even in one? The lawsuit targets 27 women, including moderators of the group, as well as a number of Jane Does and various parts of Facebook's parent company, Meta. So he's trying to even sue Meta for this? This dude right here, he seems to me like a jock that is so ego-driven and has his head so far up his butt that he cannot imagine a world where women are not falling at their feet, opening up their legs, and just getting ready. These people are of course, walking red flags. These are people that you should avoid if you're a woman, of course, which is why women make the groups that they made on Facebook. And who knows, he might even come after me because I'm saying these types of things. I'm just saying it as I see it. I'm not saying he's a horrible person overall. I'm not saying that, like, he's a baby killer or any kind of defamatory comments like that. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is what I'm seeing, which is the guy who got his ego hurt. He has more money than he knows what to do with, and he's suing people because of that. $75 million lawsuit means that he usually has a good amount of money and wants that payout. Basically wants to shut them up. He wants them to settle for maybe pennies on the dollar and shut up. That's pretty much what he wants to do. And he's flaunting his money. He's using his money. He's using the power that money gives him to do this to these women. That, for me, is going a step too far. And I got a double hitter right here. He's being looked after for tax fraud. Yes, the same man who did this is now going for tax fraud charges. Of course you have skeletons in your closet, and you couldn't shut up, so you ended up getting screwed. Because once you become public like this, the IRS comes after you, and the federal government comes after you. It's like, oh, this is the guy that we were looking for. And boom, he's going to get hit with tax fraud charges. A twofer here. You're getting a twofer. He should have put his money where his mouth is. The Chicago man mass suing past states for $75 million, which I took a look at after they posted negative reviews, is now battling tax fraud case. He's accused of filing at least 2 false tax returns, both in which he claimed he spent an exorbitant amount of expenses on charity while earning a salary well below the poverty line. So he was saying, like, I spent 150 or 200 grand, let's say for example, while only, according to this, making like 20 grand a year, which is below the poverty line. So he first tried the scheme in 2020 when he claimed he spent a whopping $158,000. I didn't even look at this, but it's exactly what I was saying. Throughout the year, and given it another $29,775 in gifts to charity, with prosecutors alleging D'Ambrosio knew he spent substantially less than that amount. That year, he claimed $4,400 in taxable income. What the heck? He claimed less than $5 grand a year. That's less than $400 a month that he was claiming in income. No, I don't believe it. With all the stuff he flaunts, I don't think so. D'Ambrosio allegedly made similar lies to the following year, this time claiming $252,625 in expenses and $34,725 in charity gifts and only $14K in income. How can you do that? I mean, technically you can if it's your parents' money and your parents are like multimillionaires. Technically you can, but you can't claim it on your taxes because it's not money you brought in. So that was red flags for the IRS, beyond the red flags that he had for a bunch of women, which are shown here, as we said earlier in this whole thing. He appeared in federal court every day in January for the alleged crime, including the day he filed a lawsuit against dozens of women. The women posted negative, etc., saying he was clingy. I don't know. This man, he's taken L's all across the board. First, you look creepy for freaking doing this. Number one, people were saying yes. They were saying those things because that's what they experienced. They weren't lying. They weren't defaming you, saying, oh my God, this is lie. Saying that you were something that you weren't. It's their experiences. That's not defamation. You may not like it, not defamation. But then again, you decided to be a liar here. So I don't think you should ever be trusted. I mean, you lied to the government. You're lying about this most likely. Like, you're just having your feelings hurt. You're crazy, dude. Oh my God. Just get over yourself, pretty much. That's what I have to say. That is my spiel. Take a look down below for my social media, as I always have that there. I appreciate you as well. Take a look at what is on the screen that YouTube recommends to you, whichever one that may be for you. I appreciate you being here. This is the Mad Salvi saying I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.